Hi everyone, my name is Pranav Harwadkar. I'm the VP of Products at F5 Distributed Cloud. We are here in Studio 360 at F5 App World 2024 in San Jose, California, F5's premier application security and delivery conference. I'm joined by Chris Yeo from Sentient.io. Chris, can you give us a quick introduction?
Yes, that's right. My name is Chris, and I'm from Sentient.io. I'm the founder of the company, and we've created a product that is a distributed and multi-cloud AI platform that help enterprises deploy and run their AI models. And we see the market trends in that enterprises are really beginning to adopt AI very quickly in Asia because they are wanting to increase their productivity, save on costs, and increase their revenue stream. So increasingly, we begin to see many AI applications being deployed on the inference side. And one of our mantra is that we want to be able to bring the models to the data. And that's the market trends going today. But the challenges for that, of course, is that it becomes increasingly difficult when companies have many branches and many retail outlets and many locations. And then they begin to deploy distributed AI applications. How do we manage those? The complexity of the tech stack is such that when you do those manually, it'll take a long time. And that's why we partner with F5, and we went from weeks to morning, right? Just many weeks to just one morning to be able to deploy AI stacks very quickly for these enterprises.
Awesome. Thank you. That's an amazing introduction. So let's just take one step back. You talked about AI and there's this LLM and there's this training and inference. Can you tell us more about the market trends of, do you see a lot of people doing training? Do you see a lot of your customers doing more inference? And is the inference more centralized, more distributed? Like, what are the trends in that?
Right. So we are seeing a big trend in companies involving themselves in inference of AI models. Training less so, because most of the training is done either by ourselves and a little bit more by the customers, but they do that on a centralized basis. But for inference, it very well could be decentralized, and the inference models will be deployed at the branches or the outlets of the enterprises. And in that sense, we begin to see maybe about 80% of the workload being on inference instead.
Got it. Okay, so now you talked about some of your customers, you said a banking customer deploying LLM on the retail edges. So can you first tell me what exactly is this app? What is it doing?
Right.
And what are the challenges? Like, can you go into the tech stack challenges that you face when deploying this all within the edge?
Right, very good. Okay, so most of the applications that the banks and the enterprises are into today include lead generation and lead qualification.
Got it.
Because sometimes when they have thousands of leads, they do not have the resources to deploy hundreds of humans as lead qualifiers. And so what we do is we proposed an LLM, a large language model, to help them in lead qualifications. And for banks, there's the additional need of having investment advisors, right? So for these investment advisors, they will be aided with the AI.
Got it.
And in the tech stack for this, we start off at the operating system layer, and then followed by the Kubernetes layer, after which we would then apply the tech stack. And the tech stack could include databases, could include text embedders, and include the large language models themselves. Then on the very top of that, we have the application layer, which could interface to either a web chat on the customer's website or WhatsApp channels and all that. So the tech stack is pretty deep and pretty complex when we deploy applications like lead generators, investment advisors, and so on.
So how do you keep, so you talked about, you rattled off like at least 9 products over there. How do you make sure that all of them are working together like even in one location, and now how do you make sure that it is working in all of the different retail branches?
Yeah, so in the past, it involved us, first of all, testing the original package or the manifest, right? So to make sure that the operating system and the Kubernetes and the application layer, they all work together and they are all harmonized with correct versions of the software running together. And then after that, we had to manually deploy individually on each site. And it could be more than 20 sites, right? And this would take us weeks to do because the team members would have to log in onto the individual website and to deploy the technology, to test, and then to go into live mode. So that took a lot of time. But ever since meeting F5, we were able to do this in just one morning of work because we're able to standardize on the manifest of the packages that we need for the large language models. And then after that, we use F5 to deploy this on all the sites, taking just minutes to do that.
Minutes. So you went
Yes.
from weeks to minutes, and you said you finished everything in one morning?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, wow.
Instead of weeks, we just do the manifest in the morning and press of a button. It takes a few minutes for it to deploy. Simple as that.
Oh, wow. So that must have saved you a lot of, firstly, time to value, and really your operations teams, it is not overburdened.
Exactly, because the operations team are very busy with many deployments. This really helped them.
Weeks to minutes. Weeks to
Yes.
minutes. That is very powerful. Now, so that is like the deployment. What about some of the security challenges that you faced, and how did were there any security challenges that you faced, and did FI help you with that as well?
Yes, so security is a big thing, right? And as usual in the old days, old days, you still needed the usual protection from DDoS and phishing and all that. So those are still there. But with the advent of AI, especially large language models, there are new security threats. And these new security threats could include prompt injection and data scraping and things like that. But we're very glad that F5 had the capabilities to help us tackle these new AI type of threats.
Oh, very good. So not only did you get the reduction in complexity, weeks to minutes, you also got the consistent security across all of these sites.
Yeah,
Consistent application security.
that's right. So all we need to do is create in one single location all the security policies needed, and that will be distributed to all the individual sites.
Very good, very good. That's amazing. So now, so that helps your security operations teams as well.
That's right.
And and lastly, what about the the management or the observability of your health? Is that something that was a problem which F5 helped you with as well?
Yes, in the past, we would have to log into the individual sites to check if all the systems are up and running, and if something is down, where is it happening, right? So it's a very individual site monitoring. But with F5, we have one console to be able to see all the health of the individual applications on just one single pane of glass.
Very good. So weeks to minutes operation complexity, consistent security, if I'm hearing you right, and single pane of glass across all of your sites.
Absolutely.
Those are the challenges that F5 solved for Sentient.io.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris, for joining me today.
My pleasure.
And thank you, everyone, for watching. You can find more videos from F5 App World when you follow us on LinkedIn, X, YouTube, and f5.com. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you very much.